Hey everybody, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 13 of the Thunder Model Scammell transporter build in 1/35 scale. I want to do something kind of a little easy today, so I cleaned up a whole bunch of parts for some wheels. There's the front. The fronts and the backs are different. They're not the same. I'll show you. I haven't even touched the trailer wheels yet. I'm not sure just exactly what we're going to have there. But anyway, let's go down the bench and we'll see about getting some wheels made up. Wheels and tires. Alright, thanks guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know how many of you remember, but back when I did the unboxing, I noticed sink marks on these front wheels. There's 4 ejector pin marks on the back side. They're actually Z pins, but I cut those down just to make sure they didn't interfere with anything. But they left some small sink marks. You can't really see any of them but that one. And I didn't want to just leave it. So what I did was I cut a little bit of tape and I just made a mask that would just cover the, leave me space for that so I didn't get super glue all over everything. And I put some black super glue on it, just a tiny little bit, and then I just touched a little bit of the Insta-Set to it and set it off, and then I took some real fine sanding sponge and I just went over it, and it just, when I know this isn't terribly sanitary, but when you wet it and look at it at an angle kind of with a shine across it, it looks nice and smooth now. I'll put up a before and after picture of what they look like. I only did these two. The rears, or the inside wheels, have some light sanding or light sink marks, but they're right across the letters, and there's no way I'm going to fix that without removing the letters, so I'm going to leave those be. So here's our insides and our outsides for our front wheels, okay? And then we've got these parts and the two little hubs, center hubs. Okay, these build up a lot like mini art. We've got one piece that has got a little rim on both sides, and that's the center one. And let's see, where's the other center one? There's the other center one there. And then we've got one that has a lip and a recess part. And these are all keyed too. There's a little key right there to keep everything oriented the same. So we've got, it'll be like this. And I think, from what I can tell, these are reversible, so it doesn't matter which way you put these, they all seem to fit. But that makes up our tires for the front. The backs are going to be completely different. I'll show you in a minute. So let's go ahead and put these together. Okay, this is the center, and we've got a notch right there that gives us our key. So we've got a key and a key. We can get them all together, and they are a pretty tight fit. They're kind of hard to hold exactly straight. One is just a little bit small, and it wants to kind of jump side to side, but I think it'll be fine. Make sure I get that key where it needs to be. Okay. Just for the heck of it, I don't think it makes any difference. They are different part numbers, but I sure couldn't tell a difference between this part and this part. Now they're all exactly the same. Okay, let's just get a little, we'll just glue this really slowly. Okay. My key's not quite lined up. There it is. Just a little bit in there and make sure we get things started right. We don't need to slather the glue on and do the whole thing at one time. Okay. Careful. Okay, then let's get our other center ring on. Make sure it's lined up. Okay. Just about to a milestone. I'm not planning on monetizing the channel anytime soon, but one of the requirements that YouTube has to monetize is 4,000 watch hours within a year. And I think I'm about 20 watch hours away from that point. But I might monetize it eventually, but I have no intention of doing that right now. But it's nice to see that I'm able to get the watch hours. That's all because of you guys. Really appreciate you watching my videos. Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. Then we've got an inside, and let's go ahead and do the outside first. That way I can glue it from the inside where you can't see it, and the key is right there. Make sure we're all lined up. Okay. I'm being real careful not to use very much glue to make sure I don't get it all over the place. If you look inside there, you can see all the keys lined up. Whoop. Take your time. Make sure. Not quite. Just want to make sure I don't get glue on my fingers. Okay. I did get just a tiny little bit there. Just a tiny bit. We can take care of that. And then this is the back. Okay, and it goes like so. They are a snug fit. I might actually have to put some clips on that to keep it in place. Making sure I got that all keyed. I have some stuff here. Tiniest little bit in here. Okay, we'll clamp that. Okay. Okay. I'll let that one firm up a little bit, and then we'll do a rear. I'll do the rest of them off camera. Okay, be right back, guys. Thanks. Okay, it's been maybe 30 minutes or so since I glued this one together. I went ahead and grabbed some little bit stronger clamps just to make sure I got everything nice and tight. Ended up with a real nice thread pattern. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll put some pictures up. The way it's keyed together, it staggers them to where they all kind of interlock. And there's where I fixed that sink mark. So I'll do the other front offline, or off camera I should say. We also have this little hub that goes in here. Okay, I'm not sure how far it sits in there, so I'm not gonna glue it in quite yet. Anyway, these are the rears. Let me show you something here, if I can find it real quick. They talk about the let me see. They talk about the pattern of the rears. Here we go, right here. They're made up of the three pieces: the inner, the center, and then the outer. But the way this is set up, it's possible to vary the pattern slightly. You know, and you can do it one of two ways. Now, basically, it's just the way the parts are kind of clocked together. I'll show you here real quick. Let's go back this way. There's a key right here that is centered between the treads. Okay. if you can see that or not. And then there's a key here. Yeah, if I can, right here we go. That's keyed, that's on the tread, not in between. So these are all off. This key and that key are off a half of a tread. So you want to put them together. You can either make them to where the treads line up on the inside or line up on the outside. I don't think it really makes a difference which you do, as long as you do them all the same. It's kind of the way I'm thinking. So what I'm going to do, see that's a half a key. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is in between the treads. And then this one is on the treads if you flip it around. Okay, so you can vary it. If I can get the keys are really, really tiny to try and keep everything in alignment. There it is right there. So I'm going to put them together to where the treads line up on the outside, and then they're a half off on the inside. Just so long as I do them all the same, that's what's important. So where is my key? There it is right there. Now let's see, that's going to be off a half. Make sure I'm doing it the right way. See this? If you key it this way, the treads, these line up between these. And if I believe it, if you go the other way, then it should line up on the tread. Yeah, okay, and that way it lines up on the tread. Okay, so it's a half a tread off. So I'm going to glue them to where the outsides all line up on the tread, and then I'll glue them. Then the insides will just be a half a tread off. It's not really doesn't really make a difference which is which, as long as you do them all the same. And it may be that on a vehicle, you know, they may have had both. You know, when they're changing tires and things like that, it's entirely possible that you could have some one way and some the other way. So anyway, let's see if it's really difficult. There we are. Really difficult to get the keys exactly lined up. So let's see if we can get this one on here. I'm sorry if I'm off camera. My new, it's not even a cutting mat, it's just a desk mat, should be here tomorrow. And it's a, you know, when I ordered it, it was supposed to be light turquoise. I had my choice of a dozen colors. So they didn't actually have a blue. I'm kind of partial to blue. But that's okay. But we'll see how it shows up on camera. If I'm not happy with it, then I might try a different color. Or I might get 2 or 3 mats and just bury them. I'm not sure yet. We'll just have to see how things go. See the inside, these line up. Okay, I'm going to clamp that and give it just a little while, and then I just want to make sure it's nice and tight and I don't have a wheel with a big gap in it. Then let's go ahead and do a couple more of these. I'll save that for the inside. And those are the insides. So what we want to do, let's see, here's our key. Find it here. Here we go. Okay, that one is off a half a tooth. So let's flip it around. And we'll do it this way. And that's on. Okay, so that's the same as the first one we did. Okay. I've got another bench here. It's actually an old computer desk that I've got a bunch of boxes stacked on now. I'm going to try and get that cleared off and use it for a secondary build. I'm thinking, you guys let me know what you think, but I'm thinking about having one build where I just build the whole thing on camera and another build where I just show progress. And not necessarily every single step, just where I do like a weekly video and say this is what was done. I just want to have more projects going at one time than just this one. But instead of clearing this all off, I don't have another camera and everything, so I could build on that bench and then just bring it over here and show you my progress through the week. It's just a thought, but I'm considering doing that. Okay, there's that one. Let's put a few clips on there. I've got a bunch of these clothespins. They're very, very handy. And then I just want to get them started right. Then when I glue the backs on, they should be fine. However they lie, they should be right. Okay, there's the key, and that one lines up. So that's the way I want that one. Sorry. Okay. I'm gluing the part where the key is first to make sure it stays where I want it. It doesn't try and rotate on me. If you weren't watching, it'd be real easy to have them all. Well, you can only have them two different ways, but try and keep them all the same. Okay, let me grab a couple more clothespins. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get this one started. line the key up. Okay, and that one's off a half, so we need to go to the other side. And that one's on. Okay, so that's the way I want it. That way all four of the tires on the rear of the Scammell will be identical. And I haven't even looked at the trailer tires yet. I don't know for sure what they're going to look like. I know. Dead air. Sorry. Okay. So those are lined up correctly. Good heavy tires, and these do say Goodyear on them, I believe, or is it the front ones? I don't remember now. Yeah, it's the front ones I think say Goodyear on them. The rears just say a size. Okay. Let's go back here. This is the one we glued first. It's a 15 by 20. And then we'll glue it back on. And these should be a half a tooth off. That's just fine. Just so long as they're all the same. Okay, now that lines up. Okay, so depending on which way you put them, either they'll both line up or they'll both be off a half. That's alright. I don't mind. Sure, I got the key in the right place. Yep. Okay. So either they'll line up, if I can show you, got something to point with. Either they'll line up here and here, which are off a half a tooth, or they'll both be in the middle. Really doesn't make any difference as long as they're all the same. A little trick that I do, I don't know if you call it a trick or a tip or common knowledge, but when you're gluing up things like this, sometimes you'll get kind of glue where you don't want it, and I use a fiberglass pencil to kind of clean things up a bit when they're all done. Gets rid of the glue marks and things where you don't want them. Okay, that should be all the way around. Let's go ahead and clamp that guy up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of them off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you when they're all done, okay? So I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, it's been maybe an hour or so since I was working on these. They all came out real good. I'm very happy. That one I might be able to clamp just a little bit more. But anyway, there's the 4 rears and the 2 fronts. I'm real happy with the tread on that. Looks really good. Reminds me of the mini art tires that you build up out of pieces. So that's going to do it for today. I've already marked these off that they're done on the instructions. And tomorrow we'll carry on with something else. There's still plenty to do. Okay, you guys all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye.